Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the Black Manga Critic here. There will be another stream. I want to see if I can get both of those streams going. If I can't, then it is what it is. But I wanted to get this out of the way before I get to, doing the Battle Angel Alita stream because I definitely have to do that. Like that's something I want to do every weekend. Things have just been really busy. Hopefully they get a little less busy after this week, after this month. November is just like a month. But hopefully things calm down, and things will be fine. But again, Battle Angel Alita stream will happen today. I'm not sure what time because I'm still getting some cleaning done and stuff like that. But that will definitely happen. There's also a stream at 6 p.m. Eastern time that I'm going to be in, featuring on Seastone Sage's channel. She's a dope YouTuber. Check her out. She's got great content. It's gonna be dope. Dustin's gonna be there. Ty's gonna be there. Virgo San's gonna be there. A few other people, I think. I can't remember who else, but I know those people are gonna be there definitely. All right, so it's gonna be cool. All right, so the title of the stream, all right, is just me saying like that I am going to start a Patreon. Okay. And when I say I'm gonna start a Patreon, I don't mean like I'm gonna like charge like $20, to have access to a video or videos or whatever, anything like that. Like one thing that's really important for me is like this stuff is like affordable. You know what I mean? So when I say affordable, it's like, hey, if you could spare like $2, or $5 like every month, that'd be cool. If you cannot, it's what it is. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. Like, I think there's only like one person that I'm supporting right now for Harriet, which I really love, Kim Foster, who just like produces like really dope content, talks about a whole range of topics, but especially like her sort of focuses on like Black feminism and intersectional feminism, and it's really dope. And she's got a lot of great content that I pretty much watch all the time. I think the Grapevine is also someone that I'm looking up to sort of like support as well. So when I can, I try to do that. You know what I mean? And it's not much. It's not like expensive or anything like that. There might be moments where I won't be able to, and it is what it is. All right, we ain't all rich folks out here. Okay, but I think the main reason I kind of wanted to start this was like I felt like I needed like an incentive to get back to doing reviews, like manga reviews, stuff like that. Because like when I started this channel, that's what I did. Like I would come out pretty much every week. I'd have a few videos out. The goal was like to review comics, anime, and manga, but then like slowly but surely I sort of realized like I really just wanted to like stick to manga. One, because I love manga. It's my favorite sort of medium. Comics, right? And but the manga form, right? Because it's my favorite medium, I think. I love talking about it. And I started moving to like live reaction / initial thoughts, right? Because initial thoughts aren't the same thing as like a review. A review is like you take the time, you sit with the content that you've read, and maybe you take down some notes, maybe you think about like how you want to say particular things, what the order of those points, how to order those points within like I said video and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You edit certain things, and so I just like did not have the time like anymore like to kind of do that consistently. When I started doing the channel, like I was in school, but I wasn't really in school. It was weird. But I do want to get back to doing that because it's cool. There are a lot of manga that I want to talk about in depth. You know what I mean? Like I really want to sort of get into like sort of the nitty gritty of certain things. I want to sit with certain ideas and sort of discuss them and dissect them, and I want to do that work. So the goal for me right now is like to sort of set up, just like very basic tiers. I think the highest that it would go would be like, I want to say like the start probably just like $5. Like I don't think it'll go any higher than $5 because if it like for like per month, maybe like in some parallel universe or something like that, it'd be higher. But I'm not trying to like push anybody or have people pay for like all of my content or anything like that. The only thing that that's going to be on that Patreon is like certain things that I don't really just like have the time to do like sort of consistently, like reactions. Reactions will always be like on the channel. That's what it's gonna be. Always. I'm always gonna have live reactions. I'm never gonna like put that on Patreon because that's ridiculous. It makes no sense, right? It doesn't like to no. So that's not gonna be on Patreon. But sort of like generally, I guess like anything that's not a live stream basically is gonna be on the Patreon. So like, and it's not gonna be many things. It's basically gonna be like manga reviews, like sort of like in-depth reviews that I used to do, not of chapters, but of like, let's say maybe we're reading something and there's like an arc that ends. There'll probably be a something on Patreon for like an arc review, right? Of a manga that I'm reading or whatever, something that people really like a My Hero arc review. In the future, like way in the future, like you know what I mean, when I'm done with the sort of like year-long like not reading One Piece, like arc reviews for One Piece, arc reviews for stuff like The Promised Neverland, Hunter x Hunter. With Hunter x Hunter, there may be videos where I discuss certain things, certain ideas, maybe certain characters, things like that. Where I'll do that, but I think that's sort of where I'm sort of leaning towards. You know what I mean? Like manga that I think people really like, and it'll also be like reviews and discussions about other manga. Of course, Tower of God is going to be included in that, right? Because I'm all caught up with Tower of Goat. All right, so that's going to be included as well. Okay. Also, like I'm going to start doing like readathons are always going to be on this channel. I'm never going to like charge for readathons, because to me that's kind of like wild. But I think what I will do is that, let's say there's like a manga, there's like a manga volume, text that people want me to read and check out, but maybe I'm not gonna live react to it because it's just, either it's too long or the story is like just sort of kind of particular. It's not like, I don't want to say live reaction worthy, but it's like it doesn't read it, or it's not written like in that way. It doesn't sort of like command sort of like an audience in a certain way, right? Like Yoshihito Tatsumi is like Adrift in Life. That's not live react. Like I'm not gonna have people like I'm not gonna do a live reaction to that. That's ridiculous. All right. But if let's say there's a text like that people want me to sort of read and review and put up a video about and like have like a sort of discussion about in that way, I can definitely do that. You know what I mean? So I think one thing I'm gonna do is just sort of like take in suggestions. I'm gonna sort of put together a sort of like set list of text that people don't necessarily want me to live react to, but they do want me to read and maybe put out a review video on it and a sort of discussion video about that text that they've chosen. That's something that I'm sort of like gearing towards. I think that's something that I really, really want to do. Because again, like, one thing I think that if there's one thing that I do sort of like miss about like when I was like in my doctoral program for those few years, like it was, doing like that sort of work and like writing and like looking into the literature that I was reading at this like really intense sort of like level. And I do miss that. You know what I mean? Like it's not that I don't do that at all, but it's like there's a different sort of like, I don't know, again, like intensity, rigor that you bring to that. So I want to bring that to like the reviews that I do, the text that people pick for me to read. So that's definitely going to be a thing. I think the second thing that's going to be like a thing, besides the manga reviews and discussion videos, of like more of like text that one that people like, but also like of like arcs and manga volumes and stuff like that, are like interviews. So I'm going to be interviewing. I'm going to be trying to like interview certain people, that are within like sort of like this industry that I know, and there'll be sort of like either like a discussion, like it'll be like a discussion, where it might not be live, it might not be sort of like a live stream discussion, but it'll be like something that I put on the Patreon, and depending on the people that want to be involved in that stuff like that, there might be like a series that I put on Patreon that people can sort of have access to. So like maybe interviews might be something that I put on Patreon, but like let's say maybe the discussions will be something that I keep on YouTube because I want people to have access to those discussions. Let's say with like all women, right? Like those all women discussions I used to do, like that I want to bring back. That's something that I'm gonna have stay. That's gonna stay on the channel. If it's just like a live stream discussion, but there might also be just sort of like a book discussion where we say like, hey, we talk about a particular volume or something like that, and I say, hey, I'm gonna put that on Patreon, whatever. I don't know. What most likely will happen is that anything that is on Patreon is probably going to be just like me, because I never want to sort of like say, hey, I'm going to use these people for like, to make money, and then I'm not going to pay them and whatever. Like, that's ridiculous. To me, that's ridiculous. So I think what probably will happen is like all that stuff that involves other people will just pretty much be on YouTube, and you'll have access to that. You're not paying them for that. All right. And then for a Patreon, it'll be like reviews, discussing certain texts and stuff like that. Maybe even like, seeing if I can, and depending where the Patreon goes, if let's say like at some point in the future, like way into the future, like, I don't know, 10 years into the future, like I make enough, like say off of like Patreon or whatever, or like my career or whatever, to like support like artists and support certain people and certain friends that I have, then that might be something where I say, hey, I'll put something on Patreon and like showcase their art, and I'll pay them like a certain amount of money, and then you can pay to see that art and all those, and to have access to it and all that. That may be something that I'm thinking about. But I think right now it's mainly like manga reviews for just manga that people like, but also maybe more I won't say obscure, because I don't think like there's like a lot of obscure manga, but I think the manga that a lot of us sort of read isn't necessarily obscure. It's just not mainstream necessarily. Right? Just because something isn't mainstream doesn't mean it's obscure. It just means it's not like incredibly like popular. It might be popular to a certain extent, right? Like Battle Angel Alita, I think it's popular, right? It's popular. It has a certain like gravitas, like, and a certain prestige. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's by any means like, it's not a mainstream sort of manga, right? It's not like Naruto or Bleach or My Hero or Cardcaptor Sakura or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm going with it right now. And I want to just kind of quickly just say, why I kind of wanted to start a Patreon and why I've been thinking about it. And one, because like people are always saying like, yo, you deserve to make money for things. You deserve to make money for like what you're producing, for the work that you put into this stuff. And I think for me, it was just like, okay, well, like, how am I going to go about that? When am I going to have the time to start that? What am I going to do? And I think that was the thing for me to say, like, can I do this thing on Patreon? Can I like put on reviews on Patreon? I'm like, yeah. And that's something that I think I can do, and I can do well. Because one, I used to do it. And two, I want to. Like I have fun like reviewing like those type of texts. That's what I'm gonna do. And it's not gonna be like super soon. It's probably gonna be quite a bit, like just like a bit later. When it comes to certain things, I think what I might start doing, what I'll probably start doing is like start with like maybe like Hunter x Hunter, because like Hunter x Hunter is like, that's my thing. I love Hunter x Hunter, and also other sort of more obscure texts that I've read. I'll probably reread them and then have a discussion about it, and sort of go in depth about like certain things and all that. But that's sort of the goal right now. The goal is just like start a Patreon. Make sure that the price, sort of like the set sort of price for like certain tiers and stuff like that is like just affordable. If it's not affordable, like I'm sorry, like that's trash to me. Like if something's not affordable for people, I understand that people like have to sort of set a certain level for what they're trying to do, because they're trying to make like, let's say the Patreon, like they're sort of like a part of like their sort of like career. Like they need to make like a certain amount of money to maintain a certain standard of living. So I understand that. I know what's going on over there. I get it. So if you got to put a $25 tier or $100 tier, that's fine. That's fine. Do that. Like, cause you got to make your money. And I understand that. Right. But I think for me, like, it's not going to go anywhere near like, $25 or $50 or something like that. It's going to just start out like the highest is probably going to be like, at the most, like $10 maybe. If anything, it's going to be like a $1 tier, then like a $3 tier, and then like a $5 tier. And like I think that's probably where I'm going to start it off. But I also think that I might not even do tiers. I might just set it at like $3, and like if you can like spare $3 a month, then that's where I'm going to start it at. You know what I mean? Because it's like that's what you got to do. And I think again, it took a lot of just conversations with people just to realize like, yo, this is something that you are allowed to do. You're allowed to ask for money for your, to like, sort of like put it out there into the universe, try to make money off of certain things that you're producing. That's something that you're allowed to do. Let me see who's here in the chat real quick, because this is a live stream, y'all. Just so y'all know who, for whoever's watching the video. All right, let's see who's here. Yo, what's good, Muffin Master? What's good, Havoc? But yeah, it's just like, this is something that I really just kind of want to start, and I want to see where it goes. So again, like, I'm putting this video out there. I'm probably gonna also tweet about it. I'm gonna say, hey, like, I'm starting this Patreon, and just so you know, if you have suggestions for things that you want me to review or look into, feel free to let me know. If maybe you do want me to do a readathon, let's say you want me to, like, react to a particular manga that's maybe more obscure, but I'm not necessarily gonna do it on the channel. That's fine too. If you want to request those things, just feel free to let me know. You can always, you can always shoot me an email. My email's in the sort of like section in the section below. Okay. You can always shoot me a tweet, right? Feel free to shoot me a tweet. There are always different ways that you can, like, or comment below, right? There are always ways to get to me. There are always ways to contact me. All right. So if you have requests, let me know. I think, and once I sort of set up the page itself, that takes a little bit of work. Once I set up the page itself, I feel like you should be able to, like, request certain things on that page as well. I'm not sure, but I'll get back to y'all on that. Okay. So that's sort of the goal. The goal is just, like, to start a Patreon, see where it goes. Because again, YouTube is just, like, really like I don't want, like, YouTube to be, like, sort of like the thing that I'm trying to, like, make like, some semblance of, like, money with, or you know what I mean? And what I also kind of want this to do is, like, to say, like, hey, like, if I can make, like, a certain amount of money for this, I can, like, actually, let's say maybe I want to pay, like, certain people to do this type of work, for a video or something like that, or you know what I mean? Like, there's a sort of, like, method to all this. So there are things that I'm thinking about, and hopefully that works out. But I think I'm just gonna end it here, because this is not really like a video where I'm just kind of talking about life and or nothing like that. That's not what I'm doing. All right. So once again, starting the Patreon. Okay. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if there's, like, certain, like, prices like that I should set, like price tiers that I should set. What do you feel like is too much? What do you feel like is just right? All right. So let me know, like, in the comment section below. Let me know on Twitter if you want. Shoot me an email. And yeah, I'm just gonna get it started. I'm gonna start contacting some people when it comes to, like, certain types of designs and stuff like that. I think what I really want to do is just kind of, maybe I want to start, like, I want to change, like, not necessarily my logo, but I definitely want to change, like, yeah, I might change my logo. I might change, like, sort of just the way that my page looks, because it's not reflective of what I'm actually doing. So I have to, like, look into that. So might, see if I can contact someone and, make a YouTube banner, a Patreon banner, a new logo, stuff like that. And, like, if I could do that, then, dope. All right. So thank y'all for coming through to this, just like quick video, quick stream. All right. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's not gonna be anything nuts. It's like, because I know where I come from. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, how difficult it was for me to, like, buy things for myself, let alone try to support somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of, like, content creators and stuff like that. So you would never see me ask for, like, $20, $40, $50. One, because, like, this is not, like, the goal of this Patreon is not, like, to make this my career. That's not my goal. My goal is not like that at all. I understand people that, like, have that as a sort of set goal. That's fine. But for me, this is just like, if I can do this, if I can use, and if I can, taking that money and use it to, do some, like, dope things. Not necessarily for me to, like, this is not, like, necessarily for me to, like, pay rent or anything like that. It's more like, can I, like, help other, like, creators, push their work out there? Can I, like, feature certain things on the Patreon account? Can I, use those funds, like, to buy, like, let's say, like, a manga, let's say that somebody suggests, and like make a video and a review on it and put it out there and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And shout out the person that like suggested it and all that. Like if I can do that stuff, then great. You know, so the goal is like always like, how can I help other people? How can I get other people into this community? How can I give them more exposure? You know, help them grow with me, along with me. You know what I mean? So that's sort of the goal. That's the goal, y'all. Okay. Done. All right. That's all I wanted to say. All right. I really do want to get to the Battle Angel Elitist stream, the readathon, because people have been asking about it, and it's pretty popular, which rightfully so, because Battle Angel Elitist so far has been like dope. All right. It's been really, really dope. And there are other like readathons that I want to get back to, you know, eventually. In the future, I might do that. Like readathons might become like, you know, a thing where I do put on Patreon, and like, you know, it's like $1 to like access it, or $2 to like a month, like to have access to that, you know. So we'll see. I don't want to do that because, you know, it doesn't feel right with me. But, you know, in the future, we'll see if they're like, you know, manga that are good for readathons and maybe to be reviewed. You know, it is what it is. We'll see. All right. Thank y'all for coming through to the stream, quick stream. You know, just telling you that I'm starting a Patreon, that I'm going to try it out, see how it works. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put some effort into it. That, don't get me wrong, because I think like if you don't put in an effort to if you don't put effort into your a Patreon, it's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. All right. So thank y'all for coming through. I'm a Black Manga Critic. I'm gonna be doing a readathon later on. I'm also gonna be in a stream featuring Cecil on Sage. Check that out. Check out her channel. All right. And yeah, I'm out here.